Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the most popular and least listened to podcast in the world, the Sixth Sense Media Podcast, with your host, Mike Phelan.
Okay. Last time I talked to you guys, it was just after the UFO raid thing. So what's been going on since then? Because that was quite a while ago.
Where's Joe? Is he on?
Oh, yep,
yeah, I'm right here.
Why don't I see you? Hold on.
I don't see Joe
there you
either.
are.
I'm right here. Hi.
There we
Oh,
go.
now I do. Hi, Joe.
Okay,
Hello.
good. Yeah, man. Area 51 was a total blast. And it was an experience of a lifetime because I don't know if it's going to happen again. When you think about COVID, kind of interrupted this second opportunity. People were going to go back and people were going to continue celebrating that and making that a yearly event. But, you know, it's not happening this year. So we don't know if anything like that of that scale will happen again. So we were just really excited to be part of it. And what we've been doing recently actually is we're doing a lot of research on those 3 government videos and more on their origins and more on what's going on scientifically in the videos, trying to do our best to understand that. You know, we're not rocket surgeons, but, you know, we do our best to make sense of what we're seeing.
Mhm.
And we're planning a trip to Roswell soon. So that's going to be the next adventure. We're heading back to Roswell.
When you're talking about the ones that were released last year, that were the infrared videos, right? Of the whatever was flying over.
It was 2017. Those were released.
Yeah. Okay. So it's those you're researching. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of debate going on online about them. And
yeah, one looks like a flying duck.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that one's not a UFO, but I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I'm not the expert. You guys know a lot more about this than I do.
The thing is about those videos is they're totally weird and unexplained. And so leave it to the internet. That's my parrot, by the way, if you hear
Will you shut that
sounds
thing
in the
up?
background.
I was going to assume that was a parrot.
Yeah, she's taking a little nap. But what were we talking about? We're talking about those videos, and had just stirred up a huge debate online as to what is really going on. And like you're saying, somebody tried to say it was a cold bird. What's really interesting is there's an interview that is coming out I'm going to be listening to, which is Mick West, who's a big debunker, and Lou Elizondo, who is a huge part of TTSA, and then has recently left to the Training Stars Academy, and he's sort of on his own, you know, pushing the message forward. And so I'm interesting to hear how Mick West's interpretation of those videos and how that pairs with what Lou Elizondo knows and what he speaks about, because the big debate is, are these artifacts, are, you know, these pilots that are highly trained seeing what they're seeing? Is it mass delusion? I mean, the descriptions and reasons for these videos just continues to go on and on and on. So that's why I say we're still looking at it, right, Joe?
Yep. 100.
And what about I think it was the Travel Channel that your guys' show was on, right?
It's on Discovery Plus now.
Oh yeah, because they're all under the same umbrella, right? Like
yes,
that Travel Channel, like 50 other channels are all the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Has there been any new filming, or has COVID kind of put that on hold?
That's a good question. We've had some opportunities come our way, and COVID, of course, has like obliterated the TV industry.
Derailed it pretty much into the wall. So,
and I think they're figuring out new ways of putting out content. And the thing that seems to be the big thing now is having a celebrity on your show with you seems to be sort of the direction. Like there is the is it not Joe Osborne? What's his name? Osborne's son. What's his name, Joe?
Jack Osborne.
Jack Osborne.
Well, they started out they were doing that. They were traveling and filming, but COVID derailed everything. So they'd do everything in their theater and talk on a couch.
Yeah, and same with the new show,
like Ricky
Fright
Lake
Club. I remember Ricky Lake. I remember her. Yeah. So in terms of filming, we haven't had any new filming recently. So.
But other than the research, have you had any new sightings since? From why I ask is because I was looking at an article a few weeks ago that was talking about how current sightings may be aliens observing the planet during the pandemic. And Rich and I had interviewed a gentleman a couple weeks ago who said that the stars predicted the pandemic. So we're just trying to put these things together and see if these universal signs that we're seeing have any kind of relevance.
Oh, wow. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I wonder if our future selves are witnessing that. I wonder if that's a big part of what we're seeing. You know, like Ubers of the future, go back in time and see the pandemic of 2020. Who knows? That's an interesting theory, though. I don't know if aliens. I don't know if they're watching the pandemic or not. That's a good question. I would assume as scientific beings, I'd assume they'd be probably. But I think also too, being at home has slowed the minds of a lot of people. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, kind of getting out of the daily rat race of, okay, you know, we got to go to, you know, before school tutoring and you know, I got to get the kids to soccer. I got to go get dinner, all, you know, and that keeps our minds preoccupied. And I think a lot of people are at home and they're noticing things that they otherwise wouldn't notice. So I think that the pandemic in a lot of ways has put people in a position to read things, think about things. And I call it UFO realization as opposed to disclosure. I mean, it's people need to, you know, they're coming more to a realization of that they're actually real. And the news keeps putting out more and more news about it. So anyway, to wrap that up, I think possibly. I don't know. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, people are getting more into themselves. A lot of people are finding themselves creatively, differently, and they think, you know, what about, you know, UFOs, aliens? Are they real? And then they start digging into research, and then they go, well, I believe one thing, but not the other thing. Screw it, I'm gonna throw it up in the air and just see where it goes, you know? You guys gotta, I'm sorry, I got like asthma real bad right now, so I'm sorry.
Well, at least you don't have a parrot.
Yeah.
Parrot and asthma, you'd be screwed.
Yeah.
I don't know, you have toddlers. But well, then again, a parrot is like a permanent toddler in a way. So
yeah,
it's
fucking
like
your damn parrot jungle gym behind you and shit.
I know, right? And my cat tree. But I also have the Bob Lazar poster here.
Boom.
This is from Bob Lazar, right here. Yeah.
Bob Lazar lives down the street from me.
I know he
Basically.
does. Remember when we drove by his place? Just to be like, is he there? Is he in the window?
It's just a little
that.
office. It's just his office, but still.
Anyway, that's our story.
Yeah.
My question, I've got a couple questions. Like, if we were from the future visiting ourselves, I mean, right now we have the technology to like see things like, you know, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but there's this thing called the moon, and we can use like, you know, tubes or whatever the fuck they're called to look at the moon. And so like our future selves, why would we get into cigar-shaped objects and then go buy a Delta 747 and just be like, hey, catch on the flip side? That's my question.
That's actually a very, very good question. I just hypothesize like that's a whole other thing, right? Where we're dealing with like potential in, you know, near crashes in midair. I don't know about what that is. But I just think that why do UFOs why do they shoot off so quickly? Especially when people start actually
They get
noticing
really
them,
excited.
Or maybe they're saying, "Oh
and they
shit,
turn
we're from the future."
cylinder-shaped and they leave.
Like we're from the future. We're future. We better not let them see us. Shoot off. But what are the what do you guys think about these cylindrical UFOs? I mean, it just sounds like a rocket, or it could be some kind of drone. Then that brings into the question. And that brings into the question: if that's the case, why is the military operating such things in traffic space? You know, air traffic, where there's humans, you know, going from A to B, and that brings up
disinformation.
Well, you know, it's constant.
What about the volcanoes in Mexico where the UFOs are flying in and out of them? Has there been any more?
Yeah.
Has there been any more exploration of that phenomenon?
I don't know. It's hard when you start talking about volcanoes because I don't know. I've never been to one. I'm not a volcanologist. I don't know what they're called. But
well, they seem to love really just flying into them to just like for no reason.
Willy-nilly.
Yeah. Is
They
there a
do it
base?
willy-nilly.
Is there a
I imagine
base in
they
there?
do.
Is there an alien mall that they're all going to? Why the fuck would you fly into a goddamn volcano?
Keep it from erupting.
Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, like if you can transverse space and
Mhm.
avoid, collisions all along the way, I'm sure you could probably just swim in and out of lava just like you would water. I guess you're essentially protected in a space-time bubble. They also talk about subterranean cryptos, which are beings underground, which is a whole kind of interesting theory that's kind of actually starting to come out more. I've seen some articles about it, but that goes way back.
I mean, I remember fighting them in XCOM 2. It goes back.
Is that a video game? I don't know. I've only ever played Spider-Man video games. I don't know what my problem is.
XCOM.
No, Spider-Man's in it. He's
Excalibur.
a crypto.
If Spider-Man's in it, I'll definitely I'm down.
It's DLC.
Yeah, okay. It's an extra $19.99. But
that's okay.
I think speaking about cryptids, it seems like most shows that are on the channels that you guys been on and I've been on, it's always either Bigfoot or Bigfoot. Do you think we're finally running that course where it's time to bring out a new cryptid from mythology and try to bring it to the forefront as something else to look for than a giant hairy man in the woods?
A giant hairy man in the woods. Okay.
I can find plenty of those here in Florida. I mean, there's a gay nudist resort down the road. I could just go there.
Perhaps I should move to Florida.
I can find a hairy naked bear.
Oh, really? Like a human bear?
Yes, a human bear. But you couldn't really tell the difference between him and a Sasquatch, probably, because
that's fine.
They're very
I have a thing for Bigfoot anyway.
Very unkempt.
Well, no, it depends. It depends if one kills you or comes on to you. That's how you can tell.
Well, you can kill me as long as you hold me after. That's what I say. But we started with Mothman, right? It was kind of. Have you guys seen the? You all right, Joe? I'm not embarrassing you, right? If you guys have seen the Mothman documentary on, I think is it Prime Video? I tried to watch it.
I've seen a few.
Richard Gere was great in it.
It was a great documentary.
Yes,
by Richard Gere. But yeah, I've seen it. It's an interesting. Some of the things that they say that the Mothman could be like a sandhill crane, which I have here in Florida, and they're huge. They can be about as tall as I am, and I'm 6'1", and they have these giant red spots on the side of their faces. So it could be understandable if you see one of those and you're from the north and you're not used to seeing it. I can understand thinking that's some kind of alien creature, but it's an interesting cryptid, but there needs to be more meat to it.
Right?
Yeah. Because Joe, do you remember that video we saw of that huge fruit bat? It was like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Or something. And I know there's owls and there's hawks that are like, their wingspan's like 6 feet or something like that. I don't know.
There's people that see coconut crabs and think they're big ass spiders on the wall. It's just a big ass crab.
Yeah, the rumor of the puppies that are puppy-sized spiders that come and they take villagers. That's a story. That's a scary. Maybe it's coconut crab.
God damn it!
I'm sorry. Where are you guys located in California? Or I'm sorry.
I'm near Sacramento.
Okay.
I'm in Klamath, Oregon.
All right. Well, I am in Missouri, which fortunately you guys are not in. But there's actually, I've heard before, there's a thing called the Missouri Bug Whopper. I don't know if you've heard of it. Yeah. It's called the Missouri Bug Whopper, and it got its name from people would hear like, and they thought that they didn't know what the hell it was, and they go outside and they see all these smashed bugs on their wall, and like nobody's there.
What a weird. So these bugs, are they just like a spontaneous bug explosion?
Just kamikazing right in the wall?
No, somebody's smashing them because it's like they're all pressed against the wall, and they're calling it the Missouri Bug Whopper.
Oh, okay.
Like they're smushed.
Yeah, they're smushed. Exactly.
It's like a Bigfoot.
Except he's helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. What a weird. That's weird, but that's funny.
I don't know. I'm just suggesting another one because in Missouri, that's the big one that we have is the Bug Whopper.
You're not shitting us, right? Like you're being for real.
No, I'm in a car. Why would I do that?
There's no Bug Whopper. You're full of it.
Okay, so you're calling my cryptids bullshit?
Okay.
I can't question your cryptids living in the sea with a King Triton or whatever. But I talk about the Bug Whopper.
Okay, Bug Whopper. Okay, well, I'll take you on your word for that.
Thank
what
you.
a weird. That's such a weird like cryptid. That's. I'll have to check into that. That's definitely.
I don't think we have any in Florida that I could think of because we got enough strangeness here. But I can't think of anyone ever saying that they saw something that wasn't a UFO or a ghost or something. I can't think of anyone that said anything about a creature that would be exclusive to Florida. We have Bigfoot sightings, I guess, but they're so far and in between that, like I said, I mean, you can mistake a hillbilly here for a Bigfoot. It's not uncommon.
Like there's no, if I'm hearing you right, like there's no landmark paranormal. Like Roswell has the Roswell crash, and then Mothman is from New Jersey, or where's he from?
Yes.
Oh, and then you have the Jersey Devil. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah, I am interested in that because it's an amalgamation of like three things, right? It's got wings and hooves, and it's got like a face that's kind of a semi-demonic donkey or something.
Yeah.
So, yes, please. I'd like to know more about the Jersey Devil because if something comes from Jersey and it's more horrifying than the people that live there, I do want to hear about it.
For real. I don't know. I gotta check it out. All I know is I saw some stupid video. I swear these videos are getting worse or better.
They're getting
worse.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a question. Like, you guys, you went to the Area 51 thing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you discover anything?
We discovered some really interesting people.
Yeah. I think there was something you guys told me. You had a conversation with somebody else that was out there, another researcher who said, he was a guy that supposedly worked at Area 51. And he said he had some info, but he couldn't tell you about it.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
Talking about Rick Doty. You guys know this.
Doty.
Name, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. He's a huge polarizing figure in the UFO paranormal world. Mm-hmm. Rick has interesting stories. That's what I tell people. And you have to, first of all, consider his background and the fact that he did indeed work in the capacity he said. But also when you're just talking to him and you're comparing similarities of ideas that you've kind of stumbled upon on your own, they seem to match. And so when you talk, you go, you get that aha moment from him, but then you're also at the same time going, is there really a Missouri Bug Smasher? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like
Whopper.
Oh, yeah, the Whopper.
You just fucked it up, bro.
I bring a special guest on, and then you trounce all over his cryptid story. You guys, come on.
I don't feel respected at this point in time.
Well, it's okay, but I'm just saying that's the kind of thing is it sounds ridiculous. But that's why I was going, you're messing with me. Because it sounds ridiculous. But at the same time, there's story, I assume, and backstory to that. But that's kind of when you're talking to somebody like Rick Doty, just kind of going back to him. Those are the things you got to filter out. But he knows his stories. He knows his technology. He knows more than you would think somebody would otherwise know. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't claim to be some contactee or something like that, which, that kind of goes down a really other path.
Have you guys interviewed contactees before? Or are you contactees?
I don't think so, Joe. Are we?
You think it would be memorable? I mean, if it happened.
Yeah.
I
If
do
I was
have
a
like a weird.
contactee, I wouldn't be back here.
That's for sure. Yeah. Well, oh man, the contactees. I'll tell you, they go so many different directions. They go we have tried. I've had people send in some really like out of this world kind of stuff, and one lady sent me video of trees that we're looking at, or just stuff like that. So it's hard to find somebody that trees. Yeah, she was just messaging us like pictures of trees where like the leaves were crossed over, and she's like, "Those are alien eyes. You see them? They watch me everywhere I go." And she's in the video, and it makes it hard because there's a guy on Twitter now that is sharing pictures of dust, as far as I'm concerned, and
that's what most ghost hunters do, don't they?
Yeah, I don't. And let me ask you this: have you guys ever seen like a really good ghost video? Like, I saw that Sir No Face thing. It was like Sir No Thanks to that documentary. But what do you think of ghost videos?
I used to be part of the Ghost Hunters International thing, like 20 years ago. But yeah, through all the time that I spent taking photographs and looking at the research, there was nothing ever that was convincing. There were things that were unexplainable, but nothing that I would say would make me go any further down the rabbit hole than I had already gone.
Well, and if I can interject, my experience, I am a practicing Scientologist, so I do believe that there are ghost aliens inside me, inside volcanoes, all over the joint. I got at least 104 ghost aliens inside of me. So,
when was your last E-meter reading, Rich?
I took one. It was off the charts, baby.
Did you have a high beaten level?
Yeah. No. I'm getting rid of all those motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're at your fingertips too.
Rich, you need to move down here to Clearwater, where the headquarters is.
I don't think I will. Thank you.
I hear they're very nice around those parts.
I do have one question that to go back, because when you were talking before about the UFOs changing shape and being like liquid or whatever, remembering you're talking about them going under the sea?
Yeah.
So if they're a fluid form, my question is, hypothetically, could you fuck a UFO?
Need a light and rip your dick off.
It could, but if it's liquid form and it likes you and you put on the right moves, I'm saying you could get it in the mood for romance.
I guess
you
it would
get fucked
depend
at
on
hyper speed in a space-time bubble. It could last forever.
You'd be in a space-time bubble, so you'd be having sex forever with
as long as you want.
UFO.
And you can go in a volcano. It's great.
In a volcano.
You can have sex.
Yes, we figured it all out.
In a volcano.
I was going to ask if you can eat a UFO, but having sex with a UFO is a much better question.
Well, why not eat it after copulating with it then?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Just get that protein back.
The time bubbles back.
Is that the Scientology? I'm sure really helps.
Oh yeah, the L. Ron Hubbard's ghost is floating all around me, giving me hints.
Oh, could you tell them to stop taking over Clearwater, because there were parts of it that were nice until they bought up everything.
Can you imagine a man who has real estate all over the world, and in this bedroom he has all of his the Scientologists lay out his clothes because he may just appear one day in one of his houses that he has all over the world that are empty and ready and waiting for his return. I just wanted to there's nobody like that I would want to know more about. That's some interesting stuff.
Have you ever got?
I'm afraid that his ghost will appear on one of the Sea Org boats and just start throwing people into the bulkheads, just throwing people off and be like, "You're all shitty Scientologists! Get the hell out of here!" Just hitting them left and right.
My coat wasn't laid out right.
Have you guys ever been around a Scientologist center before, like either in
No,
but we grew up Mormon.
Well, I'm sure that's got its own amount of baggage, but yeah. But if you ever, like, since I don't live that far from the Clearwater headquarters, when I go down there to do whatever around whatever is left of regular Clearwater, those people are all walking around their suits, all dressed up like they're in the Navy, and no matter what, they will just glare at you. You don't even have to
imagine it's
anything.
like North Korea or something there. That's what I feel like.
yeah.
It's very similar. I've been to North Korea.
What the hell are you doing in North Korea?
I spent a lot of time overseas.
North Korea.
There's horrible. There's places where they know that you're an outsider, and they'll treat you like, the Scientologists will treat you like that because technically you are, because they own that town. But yeah, like just like if you're a foreigner somewhere where they don't particularly like Americans or like white people in general, you will get glared at, and you'll be made to feel very uncomfortable. But yeah.
The reason I'm wearing sunglasses is because I'm actually glaring at all of you, being white people, even if you're not. But I have to say, going back to the Mormonism really quick,
sure.
In Kansas, didn't Joseph Smith find a couple of the magic plates there?
No, it was upstate New York.
It wasn't Kansas?
Mm-mm.
That's Dorothy.
He traveled to Kansas, though, didn't he?
That's Dorothy. She's not in Kansas anymore.
No. Dorothy did not have a plate collection, sir.
Girl, you are getting your queens mixed up. You got to get those.
He was in jail in Kansas, right?
I think so. But he found the plates and something.
The Lord and Savior of Mormon culture broke out of jail with his like friend or brother or something, and they shot 13 people, and they got shot to death.
What?
Is that Jebediah Springfield?
No.
I think you're confusing your fictions.
Yeah. You got your queen's cross.
I'm sorry.
That's great.
You should have kept the beard, Rich. It would have slowed you down a little bit.
Oh, did you have a beard? I kind of shaved mine.
He had
10-year-old turtle.
He had quite the beard. He looked very much like John Goodman in The Big Lebowski.
Awesome.
Oh, that's a good look.
And now I'm a failure. Thanks a lot. You go fuck yourselves.
Oh well.
You did it again, bro.
Oh wait, he really left.
Yeah. That's on me. I shouldn't have pushed Rich too far. Sometimes that happens. It's a little unstable. But
that's okay. Joe's been known to just leave a fucking interview right in the middle of it, so I get it.
So
all the time. I've had to have conversations with him about it. Like, bro, you can't just be like, okay, I'm leaving. No, we gotta end. We begin together, we end together.
So, I'll end you real quick.
What is next on the horizon for you guys? Since pretty much what I'm figuring is all TV and all entertainment media is pretty much going to have to reboot itself to get back on track, and I'm sure that applies to you guys as well. So, what are the plans from here?
We're gonna do some of our own filming. That's what we're gonna do
as safely and as possible. You know, just hand sanitizer, masks, everything. You know, it's just gonna be him and I. Yeah. So, you know, there's no crew, no nothing. We're just gonna do our own thing.
Yeah, until
dig deeper.
We've been in the TV thing like since late 2016, early 2017, and so it's been, while we've had like one TV special, it's been so much more than that. And so kind of in a way, like 2020 was like a forced break for everyone. It's kind of nice actually. But then when you're looking forward to what the next step is, it holds things up. But so we're going to go to Roswell because there's a very interesting theory we want to explore more about what happened there, and it has nothing to do with aliens. It's a very interesting. I don't know if you know who Ryan Sprague is from Somewhere in the Skies. He was in Roswell and he spoke with somebody, and I'm crediting this, of course, to Ryan. He's the one that brought it up, but it's really that this local Roswell resident said to him, "You know what really happened, right?" And he's like, "Well, no." And he said, they were using children in high altitude weather experiments, and that they crashed, and then that was what it was that everybody saw. And apparently I've looked into this, and there's some other sort of similar stories about that, but I had never heard that about Roswell. So we just want to go back. We're going to go back to a couple of people we're going to interview. We're going to go back to the UFO Museum. We're hoping to maybe, if we can, depending this summer would be great, because there's also just tons of people that come from all around the world, to Roswell in July. So it's just an opportunity we like to meet people. So like if you watch Storming Area 51, we went and just talked to people. That was all just on what happens when we talk. We have a good time. We find things in common and extrapolate on ideas. And then you get to start meeting people. I'm sure you know this. You've probably got people everywhere just from like paranormal. You could, bounce ideas off of and all that good stuff. So we're just doing some more of that.
Yeah.
Definitely UFO shows, out of all the paranormal shows, are usually the most interesting because you have to you can only deal with people. You can have some footage of some things flying in the sky, but it's mostly all around people's experiences. Funny enough, Travel Channel kind of cut me off from media access after they sent me a review screener for one of their shows, one of their ghost hunting shows, and nothing happened. And the entirety of my review was nothing happened. And then they just cut me off altogether. It was like, I can't talk something up. Nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing.
So, yeah.
We get that because it's got to be mysterious. That's important. And it's hard to be a person watching and you're seeing people extrapolate some little grain that moved across the screen into, it gets tiring after a while. So I get that. Travel Channel, they're interesting. They're good. They were good to us. They always take care of us, and thank God for the opportunity they gave us, but I get the frustration. And also too, with the networks just changing and consolidating and now,
because of everything, they're, production or not businesses, they're just now conglomerating in one. And so it's like Disney Plus, Discovery, Travel Channel, and Sci-Fi in one or something, Does that make sense?
It's everything's going to have a subscription service. So I wouldn't be surprised if pretty soon you have Travel or Discovery Plus is its own thing where you pay $30 and you get 500 channels of.
I just had an idea. What if we could take all these networks TV shows, stream them into just one box in your house, and you pay one monthly fee and you get all the channels and it even comes with internet. What a concept. We could call it cable. We could call it there's so many ways we could take these subscription services and consolidate them.
Yeah, but then you got commercials and
ads.
That's true.
You got to deal with Fox News and CNN being on there. Wasting my time. I haven't paid for cable in I think 10 years. So basically what I watch is whatever screeners I get for movies and YouTube. That's it. Nothing puts more of a strain on a marriage than only watching YouTube with your wife.
That's what we do.
Is it? I have a friend, and all they do is YouTube. That's it, and they game, and that's it. That's their entertainment.
Well, if someone likes period dramas and cooking shows, YouTube's not the place for that shit.
Yeah. No.
But so if you're gonna do your own show, what platform are you gonna put it on? Are you gonna do YouTube, or is it gonna be Twitch, or how are you gonna market it to people?
Actually, what we're doing is, so I work in TV. This is not a lot of people know that, but I work in casting and casting production, and I work in TV show development, conceptualized sort of stuff. So, you know, we've been in talks with some people, and so what we're going to do is finish an idea that we started by filming some more stuff in Roswell. And so basically, it's not, I don't know if it's going to go out on the internet, or if it's going to be more of an in-house sort of deal, so that we can get, you know, some attention about what we're going to do in terms of our future on television. And if it's not, it's okay. You know, we continue to do our thing. But I don't know. What do you think, Joe? I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Just the content we're gonna try to get is more truthful. We're gonna try to dig in every which way. I know everybody's dug they can, but it's not gonna be like it's at this stage just truthful, pretty much facts if we can get the facts right.
Yeah, we're really good at relating to people when we're around them, and some interviewers, they tend to approach it as an interview. And so people automatically go in that sort of defensive mode about they're being interviewed. And we don't do that. We just start talking about whatever and kind of let that conversation, you know, allow them to let their wall down, relax a little bit, laugh at us, talk about stuff. And then hopefully we can get into something interesting and see those responses, rather than just going, okay, so we're setting up an interview and tell me about, you know, it just automatically puts people on a defensive, and they automatically start to go into a story mode, as opposed to kind of wandering.
Too. They're trying to remember like the main parts, and they can't, and they leave it out. They're like, oh, that was important. I'm just gonna keep it to myself.
Yeah. You go, I wish you would have said that when we were recording. That's how it goes.
And I'm guessing the overhead would probably be pretty low for a show like that. So I'm guessing it'd be easier to pitch. I think Netflix has a serious deficiency in paranormal shows right now, but I've worked with Netflix before. I've worked with A&E. I can understand if you don't want to approach either of those.
I was always thinking about A&E, but I still think there's more to do with travel and Discovery Plus right now, because that's the people we're talking to, and we still have. But also, I work in network television, so I actually don't work in cable television. So the people that I know are all network, like ABC and Time Warner, and, you know, like big network TV people. But, you know, the UFO wave has sort of slowed a little bit, especially since Tom DeLonge's To the Stars Academy fell apart in terms of their UFO arm.
Like a Lego brick.
They're still doing like entertainment, but I don't care about Poe Anderson books. I just don't. You know, if you're, you know, we want to know more about what's going on, you know.
Something's got to spark the public's interest, but I don't know what that's going to be.
It's going to be the Senate Intelligence Committee release and report on the culmination of all sort of agencies' information on UFOs. They had a 180-day deadline as of this year. So that's coming any day. That is going to be probably the biggest dump of a collection of the CIA, FBI, you know, the different branches of the military. The idea is to synchronize sort of this process of identifying UFOs, because there isn't one until just 2019. They sort of established a way to report and track UFOs. But this will be interesting for the public to get a hopefully sort of unified view of what the government overall is seeing or thinking. But of course, there's a stipulation in that, of course, that there can be redacted information from the public.
You can get a phone book that's nothing but black lines for
exactly.
Yeah.
So we don't know. There's actually debate on, are we going to be disappointed, or is there going to be a bombshell? Is there going to be, I don't know.
I wouldn't anticipate a bombshell from the government.
No,
nothing that would be life-changing, that would threaten the stability of people's lives or the status quo. I doubt that would happen, but any information that could be used to better catalog whatever is going on, regardless of what it is, would be very helpful. especially people like me that have a very analytical mind. I want to know, is there a process, or is there can I put it in a goddamn spreadsheet?
Yes,
That's how I
right.
look at it.
Well,
So
too,
if I
I mean,
can't do that, I don't want to do it at all.
if the Navy isn't able to identify camera aberrations
Mhm.
and simple sort of issues, which is what sort of the people say about the videos we've seen, is that there, the gimbal video has some kind of parallax effect and whatnot. And I forgot what I was saying because Joe disappeared and it got my mind off track. What were we talking about?
Sorry.
I was on a roll. I had something great to say. I forgot now.
It's not a big deal, but for now, for people that want to, people that want to see your guys' work and see some of the older shows, where can they go now to see that, or is there a big directory of things that they can look at?
Sure, you can go to realufobros.com. We have, the past articles and interviews that we've done. It does need to be updated, but also we're at Real UFO Bros on all things social media. We have a pretty, thriving. We're very responsive on Twitter and on Instagram as well. We like to banter and have fun with people. Mm-hmm. So it's not just look at this UFO video tweet or, ooh, there's this anomalous light. We talk to people and have fun and banter, and that's how we do our thing. So if you guys want to chat with us, by all means, our YouTube is lacking in subscribers. So if you want to go there, but we've got interviews with Rick Doty on our podcast, which is the Probe Cast. Recently, we've interviewed Rick Doty and Nick Pope. We actually interviewed Mick West. We've got some other interviews still that we're putting up. So make sure to check those out for sure.
Yep, they're coming out.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. I apologize for Rich's little outburst there. I wasn't expecting him to be a little bitch, but
was he really being a bitch or was he being silly? I can't tell.
I haven't heard back from him since he rage quit, so I think he's having an issue. But
good job, Emmett.
That's fantastic. That's great internet stuff. But to him, I was having a great time with him. I just thought we were having fun. So hopefully he's not in a bad mood.
I'll find out soon, though. But thank you guys.
I hope I didn't offend his Scientology beliefs. Yes, I know that those were very.
I'm sure they were legitimate, and he was being sincere. So,
absolutely.
So thank you, gentlemen. You guys have a good night, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.